some of the features that I have been working on and spending a lot of time making sure that we're doing a ton of testing. And unfortunately, it's probably not enough testing. I really need to spend quite a bit of time doing tests. We do now have approval from Google for our Google Sync piece. And once the update is pushed, and this isn't actually going to show everything because I actually did have to back out some of the back end stuff, so it won't show everything, but I'll show you where it's going to be at. In the upper right corner where your photo is or your initials are, you can click on integrations. And in integrations, we've had the Google option for some time, but we just had it for the email piece. You'll see that it comes up said that it failed, and it's because I removed some things because of the challenges that we were having earlier this week. But whenever you come in here now, you will see, or at least whenever we push the update, you will see two new areas. One is contact sync settings, and one is the calendar settings. And what will happen is both of them will look like this one down here. This one is actually turned off instead of showing some of the stuff. But if you see this, basically each of our Google settings can be assigned authorization individually. So even though you may use the same account, technically you could use a separate, different account. I'm not sure I would really advise that, but it could be done. In that, if you go in and you authorize the contact search, one of the things that you're going to do is once you do authorize it, you'll see this screen here, in which case you will have the ability to say, well, I want to synchronize all my contacts, or I can choose a certain group of contacts or tag. You can pick one tag that allows you to sync. So, and this is per user. So if you've got two people using it and only certain names are wanting to be synchronized per user, maybe you set up a tag saying, Mark's Google Sync or Cody's Google Sync. Set that as a tag the people that you want to synchronize, and then it will synchronize those as it's dealt with. You will be able to choose which direction do I want to synchronize. Do I want no sync at all? That is the default whenever you first come in. Do I want to sync just the SAM records into Google? Just a one-way sync from SAM to Google? Do I want to do a synchronize from Google back to SAM? I would always do all my inputting and stuff in Google and then send it over. Or do I want to do a two-way sync? So you get to choose how you want to do that, set it how you want. Once you've set it, you click on Save Contact Settings. Once you've saved them, then there's going to be these three buttons that are going to be available for you to do some initial syncing or constant syncing of the names. Basically, these two at the bottom are the initial sync. Maybe I've got, hundreds or thousands of names in my Google, and I want to bring them into SAM. I could say sync all contacts, Google to SAM, so it would bring them all over. If I choose sync all contacts SAM to Google, meaning I want to take everything that I've currently have in SAM with choosing which ones that I'm actually sending over based off of what's in this list up here, it could send them over to Google. That allows you to do things. Now, with contacts, calendar is not this way, but with contacts, whenever you're adding a record inside of SAM, it will go over to Google immediately. So if you make a change, you add a field, you do whatever, if you've got Google syncing turned on, and if it meets the criteria of what you've got set here, then it will send that information over to your Google account. In Google, though, if you type in a new name or whatever, you add some information to an existing contact, There is nothing that Google has set up that can notify us of that change. So we have to poll it and say, hey, Google, do you have any changes for us? And we do that every 2 hours. We may have to change that at some point, but basically, any account that's using Google Sync will automatically synchronize every 2 hours. So we go out there, we go out to the account, say, hey, Google, do you have anything that's changed or added? And if it does, then it will bring it into SAM for you on that every 2 hour process. Problem is you may want to get you've put something into Google or whatever, and you want it into SAM now. You don't have to wait 2 hours. That's what this sync changes only Google to SAM does. So it will bring them over. You can do it from here, or you'll be able to also do it from the contact itself in the contact list. And I'll show you that in a second. And I can't show this to you because I did disable the back end because of the challenge, but basically same type of thing here where you can choose sign into your Google account for your calendar. You'll be able to choose which Google Calendar do you want to use to synchronize to. In other software that I've been associated with, we always synchronized to the main calendar of Google, whatever your main calendar is. The problem with that is main calendars a lot of times are used for personal stuff, lots of dates of different types of things. So inside of this area, and after Monday, I'll do a full training on this and we get everything showing so that everybody can see everything. You will be able to pick any of your calendars or create a SAM calendar, specific calendar, and we call it SAM calendar, where it will create a calendar inside of your Google account that anything that you put into your SAM calendar would then synchronize over to the calendar within Google named SAM calendar. But it's really whatever account you choose. Just like we have the sync direction, you can do that same thing as well in the calendar. So if you just want to go from SAM to Google, you can do that as well. Any changes in Sam's calendar would go over. Now, the interesting thing is with the calendar of Google, if you make a change within the Google Calendar, it can notify us. Why they don't have the same thing in the contacts is beyond me. But you don't have to do this same type of thing where you have to do the changes only from Google to SAM for your calendar. It's just your contacts. So once that is set up, then anytime that you add an event into SAM, it syncs it over to Google. Or if you enter an event into the Google Calendar, it syncs over to SAM, depending on how your settings are set up. I've been using the two-way syncs and it's been doing everything just fine. If you change an activity, say you change it from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, it'll change it from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock in Google or to another day or whatever. One of the things that I did make changes on is if you've got the SAM calendar showing, you pull up your Google Calendar, you make a change, it will change it in SAM immediately. You'll see it visually change from one spot to another in the account. You don't have to refresh your screen or anything. I wanted to make sure that was there for you guys. So that is available. And that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as the Google piece, it's very much a either a one-way or two-way sync for both contacts and calendars, and lots of fun capabilities there.